I'm Lisa.
Hi, I'm Missy. And that's Butter.
No, yes it is. And this is Lake Wylie Yoga Social.
And we're in Lake Wylie, South Carolina.
Thank you so much for being here. And today we are actually doing a video explaining the different postures that we'll be doing during the yoga videos and the upcoming week, and then talking about the theme of this week and the different poses of what we're doing yoga on.
Right, so we hope to have a theme each week for our series, and to do this little introductory video just gives everybody a little bit of a chance of what to expect.
And Missy is going to talk about the focus of our classes, and then I am going to start talking about the main postures we are going to be learning and using during the videos.
Right, so this series of classes is all about transitions. Every day we go through transitions, and especially in yoga we have to transition from one pose to another. Just like in real life, our body goes through transitions. First, one thing that our physical body does to aid us in a transition is when you walk from a dark room into a bright room. Our eyes help us. You know, they have these muscles inside and pupils and everything. Our pupils will widen or contract to help us adjust to whether it's bright or dark to see better.
That's always hard, yeah. I know.
And we can also do things in life that will assist us in that transition. We can shade our eyes. We can turn on a light if we enter a dark room.
I like wearing really big sunglasses.
Oh yeah, big sunglasses.
Really big ones.
It's
my whole face.
Big, bright, sunny day.
Yes.
So, and another transition that we often go through that I'm sure a lot of us are experiencing right now in the autumn time of year is a new schedule.
Yes, for sure. Even
Schedules.
myself,
Oh.
yes.
I don't know about you, but when I have to adapt to a new schedule, getting up early in the morning, I don't like it very much.
That definitely has a new transition period for sure.
Yes. So we have to react to that as well. How do we do that? Get a good night's sleep. We need to feed our bodies well.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, and that is huge. I mean, because it doesn't come naturally.
No, it doesn't.
I mean, it definitely is something you have to be really mindful of.
Correct.
You have to stop and think about the things that are coming up in your body because you want to react or you want to do something different. So it's not like this thing that just happens naturally.
Yes.
So it's something you actually have to learn.
Correct.
Just like in yoga.
Right.
I mean, you have to practice.
Yes.
And do it consistently. Same just like that transition probably of the change of schedule that happens around now for a lot of people.
Right.
I could see that happening, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, yes.
And so another transition
I didn't hit that button.
that I was thinking about that we go through, and it's a pretty obvious one, it's a physical transition that at most point in our lives, every single one of us is going to have to take. We're going to have to go up and down some stairs.
Yep, that's for sure.
You know? Now, before we learn how to go up and down stairs, it can be challenging. There are children that we have to teach, you know, how to walk up and down stairs, and we ourselves, even as adults, have to think, okay, do I just jump to the bottom? No, we take one step at a time. You look and see if there's a handrail. It's all about moving from one spot to the other to get there safely.
That's right. Like if you're on a flat spot and you're going down, it's different than being on the flat spot going up.
Correct.
It's absolutely your brain, you have to think for a moment of that transition of plane, which way you're going to go.
Right.
That is very much like yoga.
And sometimes it takes practice. Like I said, I'm sure I didn't get stairs the first time I tried.
Oh yeah, I think the only time I've actually broken any body parts was on stairs. That's the truth.
So
Even my sister, I mean, stairs are something you have to be extremely mindful about.
correct.
Absolutely. And I think that's what all of these things have a lot in common with transitions.
Yes.
Is actually being mindful.
Yes.
Except for the eyes, of course, right? Because they do them on their own, but we actually can still help it.
We can help it.
We can help that transition to be more comfortable.
Correct.
And that's where I think a lot of this comes into play. But everyone has different ways, right?
That's right.
And that it does, and it's okay how you do them. So it's okay if you want big sunglasses, or if you want small sunglasses.
Right.
Or no sunglasses.
Or if you'd rather have a sun visor.
Yes! Oh, I forgot about
Or
sun
a hat.
visors. Yes. So how you do your transition is perfect and okay. And that again is just like in our yoga class.
Yes.
Because as we move through the different series and postures, and we begin to learn the different transitions to move up and down the mat. And it's just not forward and back. It's actually different heights. That's a transition. Sometimes it's just moving from the ground up as a transition.
Right.
So how we teach that and give different options, each way you choose to do it is okay.
That's right.
That's what we love so much. And that's what makes yoga so great. But it's practicing, it's having that mindfulness, and it's learning. So I love that. I love all of that. Thank you so much, Missy.
You're welcome.
So in this time, what we're going to be focusing on, and I'm just going to give the words, and then we're going to go through and actually learn them, is going to be something we call a halfway lift into a forward fold. But sometimes we forward fold and come to halfway lift.
Correct.
And they go back and forth, but they're really important because we use them a lot as a transition from moving down and up to help keep us from getting dizzy when we're bent over and rising all the way up.
Right.
So that's considered a transition. The next one is not really a transition, but it moves us into one, and that's plank pose.
Right.
Plank pose itself is a pose, but we use it before going into transition, which would be lowering ourselves down onto the mat. And what we're going to learn today is lowering just halfway and then going all the way down, because that transition is really important because of the joints in our body and protecting ourselves and protecting yourself. And then the next one is going to be stepping back into plank, another important transition from moving on the mat. So it seems like not very much.
It doesn't.
But they're really important. So we're going to show you right now briefly, but then we're also going to learn it in class as we go through the videos. So let's start with first a halfway lift and forward fold. So I'm not going to really give that much instruction. We're just going to show you really what they are, because we're going to learn how to do them in the upcoming videos. But we're going to give a little bit right now and show you kind of how it will look. And we're going to start, me and Missy, in a mountain pose. So we're going to start with our hands over our heads. And I'm just going to give us we're just going to go with an inhale right here in our mountain pose. And we're going to exhale, forward fold. So we're just going to hinge from our hips, diving down. So as you can see here, our heads are just heavy. Inhale, halfway lift. So our palms come to our shins or our thighs. Just like in tabletop, we're creating a nice flat back. But let's do that again. Let's exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. We'll do it one more time. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. So from there, we'll just come to a squat, round, and curl. So come up onto our toes, which we've done already in a few of our classes. All right, so we are going to now talk about plank pose. And plank pose is really about building a strong core, which you need in yoga, right? I mean, you agree, Missy? Yoga is about really having that nice, proper alignment. So with a plank pose, if it's not comfortable, it's okay to go to your knees. And so we're going to start there on the knees in a plank pose. So we're just going to step on back here and first come to our knees in tabletop. In our tabletop pose, just going to hinge forward just a little bit here. Before, and I'm just going to show you this little bit of difference. If I drop my belly, you can see right here, that's not really a good plank pose. And if I round up a lot here, I'm taking everything and putting a lot of pressure on my shoulders and my wrists. But even here in a plank on my knees, if I start to hinge a little forward, but I pull the belly button into my spine, it's okay. You can be right here and shifting forward. Ideally, in a plank pose, the wrists are aligned right with the shoulders. And then we lift up one leg, maybe lift the other, maybe just tuck the toes, just maybe alternating here just to get a feel. And then lifting up through both thighs off the mat. So really here thinking, pushing the ground away, pulling the belly up to the spine, thinking one strong line I like to think of energy, right? If you had an energy line shooting out your head and one out through your heels, you would be one strong line. So from here, just lower to your knees, and let's come back to that squat, round, and curl. So right from here, we're up on our toes. Plant into your hands a lot. Really come on your toes a lot, and maybe step the right leg back this time, and then the left. And that's how we step into plank. So then we're going to step up forward again, or just lower down to, let's just come right back to tabletop. And let's take a moment, because that's a lot on the wrist, right, Missy?
Right.
So in between, as we're doing this, we'll make sure to give everyone a chance.
Now, yep. Now, you see Lisa is stretching her wrist. You can also push your hands together like this to stretch, or you can put your hands palms together and push down to stretch.
You know, someone else gave me a great one too, is thinking like you're gonna have little cat eyes right here and using that, because by putting your fingers together here, it stretches the wrist out as well. Right. That feels really good. All right, let's come back to that squat, round, and curl one more time. But then we're gonna move on. So here, let's step back with the left foot. Again, pressing your palms in. So we're trying to stack the shoulders right over the wrists, and step back with the left, step back with the right. You can always lower right down to the knees from here. All right, beautiful job. That's awesome. So from there, from our plank pose, we're gonna work on lowering halfway down. But before we actually do that, we're gonna come back to that same pose again, but instead, we're gonna start in our plank and then drop to the knees. So right from there, drop to your knees. And ideally, we're gonna lower all the way down, but first we're gonna stop halfway. And I'm gonna show you what's very important here. As we lower down, we're gonna hug the elbows down. The arms are gonna come straight down by your armpits. So right in here, we're gonna stop as if we're creating a shelf, 90 degrees, and then we'll lower down. So right on my knees, I'm just gonna keep right here, stop for a moment, and then gently lower all the way down. So the elbows hug the side of my body. What we're trying to avoid is letting the elbows come out or go different directions. By doing this, we're really protecting the shoulders, the elbows, and all the joints in the arm. Again, we are gonna focus a lot on this in the yoga classes and videos that we do. But we just wanted to give you a chance to see. So what we'll do right now, really quick, is just run through them as one.
Right.
So we're just gonna go from mountain pose, go forward fold, halfway lift, we'll squat, round, and curl, we'll step back into plank, and then we're gonna lower down. So we'll just show how it's gonna all flow together. Ready? I'm ready. We'll just start with our hands above our head. Take a nice inhale, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, squat, round, and curl. Take a breath in. And as we exhale, let's step the right leg back first, then the left leg. Hug your elbows in, maybe lowering to the knees, and then let yourself gently come all the way down. There you go. All right.
Very good.
That, we won't be doing it that fast. and it'll be in a much slower order, and we'll be explaining it with a lot more detail.
Yes.
So moving a lot slower. And actually, this is what we'll be doing throughout about 3 different videos. So it'll be building up very slow.
Yes.
But we wanted to let you know what we're going to be doing with those. So, no, that's great. I'm so glad. I'm so excited about transitions. And there's actually more transitions.
Right.
So there's going to be some other ones we're going to build up to that we haven't even touched upon yet. But these are the really core foundations to start with. So thank you guys so much. I'm so excited to actually shoot the video. Mwah. Mwah. Namaste.